Ice Locked here with Nocturne Gaming, back with more Legends of Idleon, and we're taking a look at the World 4 skill Cooking. Cooking is the second skill in World 4, and at this time, no class can specialize in this skill. The main stats we're looking at in Cooking are your skill AFK gain rate, your skill EXP, and your cooking efficiency. It is important to note that cooking efficiency does not directly affect cooking. However, it does increase the amount of kitchen ladles we receive per day while AFKing on the cooking tables. The kitchen ladles boost the rate that we gain anything from the kitchens by 1 hour for each ladle that we use. It does use the entire stack whenever you use this, so make sure you're separating out the proper amount from your bank. If we take a look in the AFK menu, we can see that it requires at least 13,000 efficiency to gain more ladle multiplier, and this increases the amount of ladles per day that we gain while AFKing at this kitchen area. Currently, the only way to increase your cooking efficiency is through two pieces of gear, and this is the cooking clogs, which increase your cooking by 300, and then as well as the chef ring that also gives you a good amount of cooking efficiency and also gives you a multiplier of 15% more cooking efficiency. You can use different trinkets here or keychains that give you more AFK gain rate or skill AFK gain rate, as this is one of the other ways to increase your EXP per hour. Cooking can be separated into three sections: new recipes, cooking meals, and kitchen upgrades. New recipes is how you unlock new meals and bonuses, and you can start this by simply clicking new recipe at the top. In the middle box here, it shows the 4 spices that you're currently using to unlock a new meal. At the bottom, it shows you which recipes you can possibly unlock using this combination of spices. The ones that are highlighted or filled in here show you the recipes you have already unlocked. The recipes that are blacked out are new possible recipes that you can discover while using this current combination of spices. At the bottom, it does show you the number of new possible recipes. On the right-hand side here, we have the spices box, and this shows you which spices you have currently unlocked from the breeding's foraging area. And the ones that are highlighted are not currently being used. The ones that are grayed out are the ones that are in the recipe area right now. We can change this by simply clicking on any of these spices and it will subtract them from the recipe area. And then we can select new spices in the spices box by simply clicking on these and it will add them in the order that you select. Using a different combination of spices can give you different meals, and sometimes meals have multiple combinations of spices that can award that meal with different success rates. So once we've selected the spices that we want to use, we can simply click Begin Recipe at the top, and this will show you a new menu which shows you which spices you're currently using, as well as a fire bar here, which shows you the amount of time needed until this recipe can be finished using the Finish Recipe button at the top. If you select something wrong here, you can cancel this recipe with no penalty, as cooking any recipe does not actually consume your spices. Spices are only consumed in the kitchen upgrade section, which we'll get to soon. Once this bar has filled up, we have a couple of options. So let's select one of the tables here that have already finished, and we can look at it and see that we currently have a 15% chance on this table to unlock a new recipe if we finish it as is. On the fire bar here, we can see that it says next fire level now, and when we complete the secondary fire level, this icon will turn blue here, and this will increase the likelihood that we gain a new recipe from this by a percentage, depending on the spices we're using and the kitchen upgrades that we have. So for purposes of this guide, we're going to go ahead and see if we can get a new recipe from these different tables, and we can click Finish Recipe. We did unlock a new meal here, and it'll show you either on the right-hand side or the left-hand side which meal you currently unlocked. So from this, we unlocked pizza, which gives us a new bonus. So we can also go to our other tables and finish these recipes, and we gained a recipe that we already own here. So we can now move on to the next section. Next, we're taking a look at cooking meals that have already been discovered. And on the main menu here, we can see the meals we've discovered as well as the current level of these meals by looking at the plate. The white plate is the base level, and the bronze plate is next, the silver plate, and then the gold plate eventually as we get to higher levels. Once we select the meal that we want to cook, we can see the name of the meal that we're cooking, the amount that we own, a cooking progress bar that is affected by which meal you're cooking. Cooking efficiency does not scale this. The only way to increase this is by using the kitchen upgrades. And lastly, we can see the bonus that we gain from that meal. And this does show you the total bonus amount. So if we look at a different one, this is currently level 7, and we gain roughly 5% per level, so we have a total of 35% from this recipe. We can also take a look at the menu button on the outside here, and we can see which meals we currently have unlocked as well as their level. We can see the bonus that they provide us, and on the right hand side we can see the amount we currently own here as well as the cost to level this up. When we click the level up box, it will consume this amount of the meals and give you an increase to the bonus of this meal as well as leveling this up. It is important to note that some meals give the same bonus as other meals, usually requiring much higher level of spices to unlock these different bonuses. Such as there are multiple meals that give you skill efficiency or even breeding EXP, and even more meals that give you VIP library membership. So as you progress through this, you're going to gain multiple stats that continue to stack up. So the last section that we're going to take a look at is the kitchen upgrades tab. The first thing to note here is that each of these kitchens are viewed separately for the different meals that we're cooking as well as the upgrades that they have. We can also continue to unlock more of these kitchens, however the cost does scale quite quickly. So this table cost 80 dementia, but if we look at the next table up top, it does require 5 void coins. So as we spend more coins, we'll also have to continue spending spices to upgrade our tables. So let's take a look at that. We need to click the upgrades tab here to see our upgrades. First, we take a look at the kitchen stats. These are cooking speed, which increases the speed that you cook your base meals that you've already unlocked. The recipe fire speed increases the amount of fire that you gain per hour, which will help you unlock new recipes that much quicker. The new recipe luck is a multiplier that gets multiplied with your fire level to tell you how much chance you have of unlocking a new recipe when you finish the new recipe. At the bottom, we can see ways to upgrade the 3 different stats, and this is by spending spices that you gain from the breeding's foraging area. So for kitchen number 1 here, it does require spices number 1, 2, and 3 to upgrade these stats respectively. And each time we upgrade, it will require more and more spices to level these stats up further. But if we take a look at kitchen number 2 here and go into the upgrades, we can see that it now requires spices 3, 4, and 5 to continue upgrading the stats for table 2. And these stats are much lower than table 1 as I have not leveled them up as far. So you can see that this does require spice number 3 as well as kitchen upgrade number 1 also requires the same spice. So we will need a lot of the spice to continue upgrading all of our tables. If we go on over to table 4, we can see that the upgrades require much higher level spices that I have not unlocked yet. So these are the base stats that you have for your kitchen before upgrading. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying this type of content, and a huge shout out to our Patreon members that support the work we do. Thank you from all of us here at Nocturne Gaming. If you would like to become a patron and get some added benefits, check out the link in the description. If you have any thoughts, comments, or questions, please leave them down below for me, and we'll see you next time.